Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the I Am CDB project. I, of course, am your host, CDB. You are not. And today, we're going to do a video that I've put off for a while, mostly because of this, and I will explain. But let me get to the hardware first. We're going to be using the Rex Envoy razor for the second time. I haven't used it much because I've been, swapping around with the razors that I've been sent. I had a really good shave the first time around with this razor. The knurling on this razor is terrific. Really, really nice razor as far as I could tell. Stainless steel, beautiful design, nice razor. Now the Helmsman, I sort of have a different story. This was sent to me by the gentleman who runs the Helmsman months ago. And I tried it a couple of times off camera because it was entirely new to me, so I just wanted to get a feel for it. And quite frankly, it did not work that well for me. So I sort of set it to the side, and when the inspector was visiting, I gave it to him. I did not give him any information whatsoever. I just said, here, try this. I want to get your thoughts. And he came out, and he was like, that's a no-go. Recently, the inspector told me Michael Freeberg had tried it, and he really liked it. So I'm going to give it another go on camera because I did commit to, yeah, I'll try it out, I'll use it. I just never did it on cam because quite frankly, it didn't seem to give me the type of results I want. From my understanding, it is a brushless cream, and so, that's sort of not my thing. So I didn't want to not give it a fair shot. And so I've, tried to use it a few times here and there. And we're going to try to put on a decent amount here and see how it goes. I have not, to be very, very honest with you, been super impressed. I'm going to try to use plenty of product. Again, though, having said that, brushless is really not my thing. I like using a brush. I like lather. And we'll see how this one goes. Now, one thing I'm trying to make sure I do is use plenty of product. This is far more in terms of a cream than a lathering cream I would use. I mean, I'm squirting gobs and gobs because I want to make sure I give it a fair shot. And so we've got it applied pretty evenly to the best of my ability. One of the things is it kind of just washes off. There's no lathering agent whatsoever, I guess. So, again, that's not my thing, but we're going to see how the shave goes with it. That's the main thing. And so let's give it a chance. The one thing that I was really worried about was giving it a fair shake. And that right there actually feels okay. It's not bad. I would say adequate. I'm certainly not having any problems with it, and so that's good. The question is, once that's gone, does it leave? There's some slickness there, but in my view, not a tremendous amount of residual slickness, which is what I'm looking for. And that is to say, once the visible product has been removed, is there still a sheen there? It's kind of meh, to be very honest, in my opinion. However, I'm still able to go over the areas there. So there is that. So not terrible. Not terrible. I will say this, however. When it comes to products of this sort, Head Slick, this stuff is awesome. Whether you rub it on, whether you use a brush, it will lather. It's great stuff. It is, to me, sort of my preferred cream of this type. And this side where it's dried a little more, it doesn't feel quite as good as the other side, but it's adequate, So I don't want to give the impression that this is not adequate, because I think it is, but it's just adequate in my view. And I apologize to the gentleman who sent this for taking so long, but I wanted to give it a fair shot because it's never my goal to hurt anyone's business. But on the other hand, I have an obligation to be honest with the viewers and straightforward. And so when I do something like this, I want to be as fair as I can, but be honest. And in my honest assessment, the residual slickness just isn't there to the degree that I would like it relative to products like this that I just think are far better. This is $14.97. I want to say we're going to apply some more moisture. I'm not getting the sort of feel that I want from this product. Now, maybe that's my method here. Maybe I should use a brush. I think it was advertised. Like, I've used half a tube of this thing, between myself and the inspector. And I've really tried my best to like it, to find the good things. And the best I can come up with is it's adequate, it's okay, it's not my cup of tea. Other people may love it. I'm not finding the type of slickness, residual slickness, and just baseline that I like. That is just me, just one opinion. However, I will say, the inspector having no information from me literally just said, hey, I got a product I want you to try. I didn't give him any information. He did not care for it. And so just keep that in mind. Two experienced people. However, I am told, and I haven't seen the video myself, that Michael Freeberg did like it. And so he is certainly an experienced person and a person whose opinion, is worth considering for sure, because he's very experienced and he knows what he's talking about. But everyone has different preferences and so on and so forth. And this one just doesn't do it for me. That doesn't mean it should be avoided at all costs, but I think if you're in the market, something like this or Cremo just works better for me, especially this one. Head Slick is one of the best, in my opinion. Might be a little more expensive. I don't know what it goes for. It's been so long since I bought it. But it's really good and it does lather. And I think if this had a lathering component, I would probably like it more. It may be some bias, coming out, because I do like lathering type products. But as you can see, I'm getting a decent shape. There's no weepers or cuts thus far. And the razor's gliding along pretty good, but it's not equivalent to what I'm used to. It feels like there's something missing. And so again, I say that with all due respect to the gentleman who sells and makes this product. For the wet shaving market, those of us who are really involved, I don't know if this is, it's not for me. But, I had another cream prepared just in case this failed miserably, because I just haven't had it just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't feel like I'm not happy. Let me put it this way. I'm not happy with the shave in terms of cutting the whiskers is fine, but it doesn't feel, I'm not getting that feeling that you get when you've got a really nice, slick product. It just feels right. Something feels off. It feels like there's something missing. And again, this is said with all due respect. And I'm certainly not dissuading you from trying this product if you want to. Because again, I've used quite a bit of it. I'm more than half a tub. And more than half a tub out of only a handful of shaves. And so, I've been laying it. It's not like I'm not using enough product. Head Slick, I could use a pea-sized dollop, and I've used a ton for this shave. I could do probably 15, 20 or more shaves with Head Slick with the volume that I've used just for this shave, just to compare. And again, if you want to try it, try the product. But it is just not for me. It is one of those things. Now, would this be one of those products where I would gong it? No, because there's no malice. It just doesn't work for me, It's not like there's some bait and switch and you're being promised something that it just isn't, or there's some foolishness involved. For my taste, and the style of shaving that I like to do and the way that I like to feel when I'm shaving, it doesn't feel right. And so therefore, it's just not a product that's working for me. Although there is enough residual slickness to get the shave done. All right, so my grade would be adequate, you know, just adequate. Certainly better than the Dawn that I used on here, maybe better than bar soap, but from my perspective, not as good as most of the products that you see on this channel. And if I were, you know, rebuying a product that can be brushless, this style, it would definitely be Head Slick, Cremo, something along those lines. But that is just me, and if you want to try it, you should try it. Nice gentleman, I'm sure. And again, I apologize for taking so long, but the reason I took so long was that I really struggled with figuring out, you know, what I was going to say. Most of the times I do it live. The first time you see a product is the first time I'm using it. On this one, I happened to use it the first time off cam, and then I was like, oh, I don't know. If I had recorded the first time I used this, it would have been bad. Like I was not enjoying the process. So I wanted to be fair, give it a few more shots. And ultimately I come away saying, not for me, maybe for you if you want brushless. It's about, I think, $14.97 on the website. You know, it contains, it's BPA free, gluten free, and all that, paraben, all that stuff. If you're interested in that, that's good. No animal testing, you know, that's good. But ultimately, where it matters the most, performance and slickness for me, it's just not what I want it to be, and therefore it would not be a product that I buy. Does not mean you should steer clear of it. Give it a shot. Maybe you watch this video and go, man, I love that stuff. It's the greatest thing ever. And if so, I mean, continue using it if it works well for you. And I hope this has been constructive, you know, and maybe if there is some room for improving, or on the other hand, maybe most people use it and go, this is freaking great, he's a nut. You know, speaking of me, so it's entirely possible, but it's not for me. However, I will say the Envoy Rex, really terrific shave as far as the razor goes. Performed well. You know, my face feels kind of dry. I will say it doesn't leave a mess. And so, you know, from that perspective, you don't have lather all over your face. Kind of dries off pretty nicely. It does not leave, I know I'm switching back to the cream now, but it doesn't leave a lot of, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels okay after the fact. You know, my face actually doesn't feel bad considering that I haven't rinsed it. It doesn't feel bad at all. And I did get a good shave. So ultimately, I got a good shave. But the razor, really fond of. Not so much on the cream. Again, you know, check it out if you want to or not. It's up to you. I don't make a penny either way, but certainly make your own decision. Go and look at other people who have used this and see what they have to say, because the only one that I've been told about was Mike Freeberg, and he's an opinion that's to be respected. So check it out. Check out his video. Make your decision. Until next time, I want to thank you for joining me. Please subscribe. That helps me out. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. And until next time, I've been your host, CDB. You're not. God bless.